to go on the half. Pippen now guarding Ewing, who backs his way. And the foul is called against the Bulls. And Don Pippen, his second.
Patrick Ewing is going to have to check his tape job on his ankles here as Tony Kukoc off the dribble with a little bit of a head fake to the right and just blows by Patrick Ewing, and nobody for New York can get there in time, mainly because that floor is spread. But you know, that close to three-point line helps Kukoc. He's shooting a good percentage from out there, and you got to respect that shot a little bit, and that enables some driving opportunity for him as well.
Ewing 7 of 8 at the line. Tony Kukoc just under 40% from three-point land. 15 seconds remaining first half. The Knicks 55 and the Bulls 53.
And Tony Kukoc will be the point guard in this situation. They'll try to spread it for him again. Charles Oakley will have his hands full.
Down to 5 seconds. One-on-one move. Again, Kukoc with the step. He's set up fire. Final seconds of the half. Davis off the shot clock. Well, a terrific first half, in particular for that man, Tony Kukoc. 6 of 8 from the field, 14 points in all. The Bulls and Knicks are tied at 55 here at the new United Center in Chicago. Now, stay tuned for the Prudential halftime report. It's coming up with Hannah Storm right after these messages. I'm still trying to turn it from the poor shooting. And, Matt, he has admitted that the 2 for 18 in the 7th game of the NBA Finals against the Houston Rockets has had an effect. In fact, he said he couldn't look at the tape of the game. And then finally, during the West Coast trip, off the leg of the Bulls, and then off the during the West Coast trip, as you see the rundown of the leading scorers, Ewing with 16 and Pippen with 16 leading their clubs. He finally took a look at the tape as if to get it out of his system. Charles Smith gives the Knicks a 2-point lead.
I heard he turned the sound down, too.
Yes, and when I asked him about the tapes, he said, you know, the graphics were very, very good. Color commentary, so-so.
Had to be a miserable summer for John, and then off to a terrible start this year. And that little meditation at halftime, he's got to be trying to do anything he can to get himself going. Although he had a good shooting game in that loss against Cleveland the other night, has had a good first half so far here.
Hopper and Starks in the backcourt. Ewing, Smith, and Oakley up front. Charles Oakley. He's 5 of 9. He has 13 points. But only 1 rebound in 18 minutes for Oakley.
Well, some of that would have to do that he was trying to guard Tony Kukoc in that first half. And, of course, when you're guarding him, you're out on the floor or being taken off the dribble. Does not put you in good rebounding position.
Scottie Pippen hit his first 3 from downtown. Foul on Smith, making contact with Purdue. But Pippen has missed his last 4 three-pointers.
Well, the Knicks coming out and going inside at every opportunity, in particular in transition. They'll look for Smith. This time they look and find Charles Oakley. Not a comfortable post-up player, but he is comfortable stepping back and shooting that jumper. But you can tell, although Charles Oakley is not a guy who normally grimaces, he is in a lot of pain, and having to guard the likes of Pippen as he did on that last sequence, or Kukoc in the first half, cannot be fun on that very sore toe.
And according to the report earlier from Ahmad, he will make a decision. Of course, we have heard this before, but he says he will make a decision regarding an operation depending on how he feels after the game tonight. If he should undergo surgery, it will take place this week, and he would be out 6 to 8 weeks. Tried a different shoe the other night. What he said was the last option before surgery on the dislocated toe. Here is Oakley. And the rebound comes to Hopper. Hopper and Armstrong in the backcourt. Purdue, Pippen, and Simpkins up front. And a hold on Smith as Pippen off the fake went to his right. And that's 3 on Charles Smith.
Well, the Bulls will look to drive the ball into the seam of the defense at every opportunity. No way that Charles Smith can stay with Scottie Pippen. He got off to a terrible start in this ballgame, had to go to the bench and give way to Anthony Mason, who did a good job of slowing Pippen down, but then Kukoc got it going.
3 apiece now on Smith, Hopper, and Starks. Armstrong tied up or foul? Let's see. is a foul called by Steve Javy. It's on Ewing, his second.
One of the staples of the Chicago defense, especially all those years that Horace Grant was here, was their trap after free throws. The Bulls have been able to put it on a couple of times. It's a token three-quarter, 2-2-1, not really designed to steal the ball, more to just slow up the Knicks and take them out of any kind of rhythm, make it slow for them to get into any kind of quick offensive play, and it worked on that last possession.
Mentioned the departure of Horace Grant. He, of course, going on to Orlando. Scott Williams to Philadelphia. Bill Cartwright to Seattle. John Paxson to retirement, actually to the radio booth, working alongside Neil Funk here in Chicago. Ewing. And the Knicks now lead 61-58. That all adds to the departure of Michael Jordan. So this is certainly a revamped Chicago Bull ball club. Ewing trying to sweep it. And last touch. Well, the officials checking with each other. There's John Paxson handling the radio color commentary for the Chicago Bulls.
Had a marvelous career here in Chicago, really well loved in this city. Of course, unable to play very much last year due to the problems with his knees, but the people in this town and around the country will never forget that three-pointer in Phoenix.
Back come the Bulls. 3-on-2. Simpkins lost it. Starks off the steal. Oakley. Yes. Charles Oakley having a conversation with Scottie Pippen.
And it wasn't peace on earth. No. Will to men. They are good buddies, but that was something nasty that Charles said to Pippen. Pippen didn't react.
Oakley has 15 points, shooting well, 6 of 11 from the field. The Knicks now lead by 5 with 3 minutes gone by in the third. Pippen for 3. And Oakley rebounds. Ewing lost it. Smith on the recovery. Starks. Pippen with the box out. Pippen all the way. Looked like the Knicks just collapsed. They stepped away as Pippen drove the lane.
Actually, John Starks stepped up in the lane with the idea of taking the charge. It's something that the Knicks have worked on in their last 2 practices, but actually the athleticism of Scottie Pippen enabled him to avoid Starks, but John really didn't do a good job of taking that charge.
Hopper wanted a 3, but his foot was on the line. It's a 2-pointer. Here's Pippen trying to go glass. So Pippen, after the good start, not shooting well. Starks with a change of pace, and it will count. It's a goaltend. Beautiful move by John Starks to give the Knicks a 67-60 lead.
Well, Charles Oakley and Scottie Pippen, former teammates here in Chicago and good buddies. But after that jump shot, Charles Oakley turned to Scottie Pippen, who just totally ignored. We kind of looked over to our table here to see if we heard what he said. We didn't.
And I'm sure you would have passed it on. Going to go John Starks with a strong drive and got credit for the field goal off the goaltend. Starks with 8 points on 3 of 6 from the field. As we have been discussing, John has certainly had his shooting problems this year. He's gone through all kinds of situations. He's been benched. He's tried to change his style at the times, not shooting. We talked about John Starks with Knicks coach Pat Riley.
John is a guy that we put the ball in his hands a lot. You know, he's got to make good decisions. I think he can make great plays and get 7, 8, 9 assists a game. And you got to get back to playing the game and stop worrying about the perception that it's all in the shooting. So, you know, I believe in him. You know, he's brought us a long way, and you know, I'll continue to go with him.
A terrible thing happens in this game, Marv, when you start to think, and really that's been the problems that John Stark has had in the beginning of this year, worrying about the perimeter shot, because as Pat Riley pointed out, there's so many other things he can do to help this ball club. He used to be one of the best defensive guards in this league as far as guarding head up on people, taking charges and whatnot, and he can do that, help this ball club on those nights when he's not shooting particularly well.
Pete Myers, who just checked back in, saw his pass intercepted by Charles Oakley. Myers guarding Starks. Ewing played by Purdue, and triple team got it to Oakley. Rebound Purdue.
Charles frustrated with himself.